We move next here tonight to our cover story, and this letter that we received from a woman named Gabriella Mashad saying, quote, what was a picture-perfect dream apartment has turned into a nightmare. Well, that started our team down the road of uncovering what actually happened to her and in her walls of her home. She told us that her Apollo Beach apartment is just not safe to live in. And tonight, ABC Action News reporter Jada Williams with what was growing inside her home that made it unlivable.
So I was like, to me, this was a dream apartment.
But now, just a little over a year after moving in, Gabriella Mashad feels her apartment at Ripley at Waterset in Hillsborough County is not safe to live in. She says it all stems from September of 2022, when she noticed an issue with her air conditioning, just weeks after moving in.
They told me it was condensation. The AC was leaking, which it's been leaking since. And it took them until October 19th of this year to fix.
Eventually, she bought an at-home, do-it-yourself mold test. These right here are mold tests that you've done.
Yes, and my apartment complex does not accept those as legitimate.
1 month before her lease officially ends, her apartment is now filled with moving boxes.
I've had to throw out pretty much all of my unpainted canvases, besides the ones that are plastic wrapped. The ones that are painted, I've been trying to salvage. It's not a fun thing when this is your source of income to be able to afford to live here.
Mashad shared these pictures with us of what's behind her AC unit door. We wanted to see it ourselves, but the AC unit is locked, only accessible by maintenance. And this is one of the areas that you used one of the mold kits.
Yeah, so I swabbed like between here and the vent to try to get a better, because I couldn't obviously access it.
While she says it's mold, she tells us her apartment complex told her it's organic growth. I reached out to Willowbridge, the property management company in charge of the complex. The complex sent me a link to the Florida Department of Health, where they say they don't recommend mold testing or sampling to see if there's a mold problem in your home.
It's frustrating. It's gotten to the point where I have broken down crying in the office. I'm upset, to say the least. It's a lot, and sorry. It's very frustrating.
She then called code enforcement.
There was a lot more when he was here. It has been cleaned up a little better. He saw mold. There was mold all in here. There still is mold.
We went straight to Hillsborough County Code Enforcement ourselves to get more information. In a statement, the county told me, according to Hillsborough County Code Enforcement, the apartment owner was cited last week for 2 violations: a hole in the ceiling that had been inadequately repaired and an organic growth on the baseboards. The owner has the standard 10 days to correct the violations. We also received those official citations. It directs the apartment complex to patch up the hole in the roof, initially left uncovered due to the leak, then later patched with cardboard and tape. When I visited Mashad Wednesday, maintenance had already fixed it. As for the organic material, it reads, the interiors of all buildings and facilities shall be kept free of any visible or otherwise demonstrative growth of mold or mildew. The report specifically states organic material. When I asked the county if we can classify it as mold, they told me code enforcement doesn't test the substances because it's against code to have anything growing, whether it's mold, mildew, or simply organic growth. Mashad says she's not taking any chances, and that's why she has to let go of her dream apartment.
It didn't live up to the expectation.
In a statement, Willowbridge said, quote, we take residents' concerns seriously and pride ourselves in trying to remedy any issues as quickly as we can. When we learned of these concerns, we contracted with a Florida-licensed third-party mold expert to inspect the unit. The resident is in the process of moving out, so we will address any recommended maintenance as soon as the unit is vacant. In Apollo Beach, Jada Williams, ABC Action News.
And we wanted to do a little bit more research on these mold testing kits that you can buy and test at home. So we consulted with the Florida Department of Health and Environmental Protection Agency. Here's what we found as I put it all on the board for you here. Both agencies caution against the accuracy of these at-home mold tests and recommend having a professional come out to inspect any sign of mold that you may have. That's because these testing kits could easily be contaminated when you ship the kit back, where the package could end up encountering heat or humidity. Also, the test kits do not account for dead mold spores or the type of mold that actually may not make you sick. So a lot of variables here to consider when it comes to those testing kits.